want to know, if you were to get hit with a sudden curveball in your life, your vehicle needs a repair, the water heater goes out at your house, AC goes out, surprise, somebody gets sick and you have a medical bill you weren't anticipating, whatever it is, where you have a need for your rainy day account. Because, financially, there's always going to be times that it's raining. And so how are you prepared? Well, Bankrate forever has done an annual survey and found that the number of people who can handle that financial oops stays typically in the 40-some-odd% of Americans. That if they got hit with a surprise, and there are different surveys, there's another organization does one, could you handle a $400 surprise expense? Bankrate does $1,000. And so again, in their survey, not quite half, a little less than half of people could handle that unexpected emergency. The number of people, though, who are really wheezing financially has been rising because we as Americans, and I've talked about this as long as I've done this all the way back to the 1980s, we in the United States do not save culturally. Our cultural makeup, we don't save like people do in other cultures. And recently, Americans have been saving a very, very small amount of their pay. Part of that is recent inflationary pressure in the economy. But outside of people who are living truly paycheck to paycheck, it is cultural. Because people in countries where people don't make nearly what we make and don't have the standard of living we do, they save so often a third of what they make. In the United States, we usually are saving somewhere around 5 cents to 6 cents of every dollar we make. Tiny compared to other cultures. We have always been here and now, enjoy it today because you don't know what tomorrow will bring. And I look at it the opposite. I look at it more like other cultures that we don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. And a lot of times it's going to bring an oops of some kind. And we need to be prepared for it. But the fact is, a lot of us in the United States, it's just not, we're not wired that way. So how do we pay for that emergency? We use credit cards or payday loans or something like that. I mean, 1 in 4 people are willing to admit to pollsters that's how they'd handle an emergency. So it's actually higher than that, but that's the percent that will admit, oh yeah, I just pull out the card. And then you're paying the highest interest rates on average we've ever had on credit cards right now. So I ask you to do something. And that is, if you are listening to me and you couldn't handle that oops, because oops happen. They happen. I'd like you to start saving something every paycheck. Let's keep it simple. $10 a paycheck goes into a savings account with an online bank. And your employer probably allows split deposits of direct deposit where you can have money go into your regular checking account wherever you do your banking. And then you have an amount you divert into a savings account with an online bank, or it could be a credit union, not at a regular bank. And then you could have that money steadily build up over time and build up that rainy day account so that when the rain comes, you're not having to borrow at 20% more or less interest. You have the money you've put aside that helps you deal with that rainy day. This is completely up to you how you choose to have your finances done. But I ask you to think it through. In your past, something happens. Something you don't expect happens. how do you deal with it? And being prepared to deal with that unexpected makes dealing with the aftermath of the unexpected so much easier for your wallet.